Ladies and gentlemen, this is TJK Thomas Johnson, and just straight up, this video could age really badly. Like this video could age really horrible. But I'm gonna go anyway. I'm gonna do this anyway. So, for you guys that don't know, I'm a really big fan of choice-based games. Games like The Walking Dead with Lee, Clementine, and trying to survive in this crazy apocalypse zombie world and stuff like that. Games like The Wolf Among Us, which I'm still waiting for a sequel to this day, but man, the hopes are very low. I mean, the hopes are pretty non-existential. There's just like one tiny hope that is still kind of making me believe that maybe we can see that happening one day. But it's not, even though the hope is still very low. I mean, it's not as low as Half-Life 3 fans, which got basically blasted last year. So yeah, I'm a really big damn fan. They have some problems with the story and meaningful parts. It's kind of a little bit strange in how they do it and stuff like that. There is like themes of slavery and stuff. And as much as I can see that as a very clear, very valid criticisms about the game and stuff, man, I still love that game, bro. Like, because that game was, I think of all of the choice-based games, that was the one that actually messed with my feelings the most, for sure. Cause like you have like Kara, which is taking care of this child, and you could say that this is like you have this child and you gotta protect her to the entire game and stuff. And there's people that doesn't even like choice-based games, but man, that work really well. As much as you can have criticism about the game and how he handles some of its story, some of its beats, some of his messages, like the game still works, man, like for what it is. And I think it's one of the best, if not the best, in like catching your feelings and make you immerse into the story. Because one of the big aspects about Detroit is how it handles the choices. Like, the choices really matter. Like, if there is a game that I would recommend that is like, do my choices really matter? And should I really, let's just say, there is a game that I want to feel like everything that I'm doing matters. Like, play Detroit Become Human. You're just gonna know this, like, when you go through all the episodes and stuff. And until you get to an episode that you realize, yeah, man, like I can't miss this shit. Like, and I think that one of those episodes, at least one of those chapters that actually make you realize that, is when everything is going down. Like, when Kara gets attacked by the father, mock a bunch of shit, and stuff like that. Markus getting attacked by the son of the old dude, and I'm sorry if I not remember all the names, because I always forget names. I'm really bad at remembering names and stuff like that, so I'm sorry for that. But the son of the old dude basically attacks Markus, and Markus basically get the blame for it and stuff. Like, basically you know what I'm talking about. The episodes when everything goes down. And man, that is like, yeah, man, like my choices really fucking matter in this game. I gotta lock in, And when that game come out, it was a really good fun time, bro. Like, there was a bunch of other games that was really good in that year as well, but I just can't remember the name because I don't know if they actually came out in that year. But I know that there's a lot of good games that came out that year. But that was a fun time because everybody was playing Detroit. I still remember to this day. I was watching every single video, bro. I was watching every single video of any YouTuber that I didn't know, and even the YouTubers that I know of. And man, it was just a fun fucking time because every playthrough was like something different. Like people were doing and ending up in situations that I never knew it was possible. Like I didn't have any idea there was the ending of the camp until I saw somebody else play it. The androids get, let's say, surrounded, and they gotta surrender and kind of like enter into this machine and stuff. Like it's something really disturbing and really sad, and that really like messes with your feeling, even if you experience for the first time or the second time, because like you just didn't know that was possible. Yeah, man, I think Detroit Become Humans is one of the best games to come out of choice-based games in general. One of my worries, which is probably gonna make or break this video that I'm doing right now, is do we ever gonna see something like Detroit Become Human ever again? You're probably gonna say, but Thomas, the Quantic Dream guys, they are doing like the new Star Wars stuff. They are doing like Star Wars Eclipse, and they're probably gonna put a bunch of budgets on that. They're probably gonna be even better than Detroit. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that does happen. Maybe that is true. But what if it don't? What if that doesn't happen? Because for the last time I heard, at least the last news that I heard, is that Quantic Dreams was, and I don't know if that is true or not, I can confirm that, but I saw something that it might be true, is that the Quantic Dreams guys, they're not focusing everything, they still make the Star Wars games, of course, but they're focusing in making like a multiplayer game. I don't know if it's a hero shooter or not, but I don't know, that's kind of worrying, man. That's kind of making me worry, because again, when the company is focusing on making like a multiplayer game, that can mean two things. Either they getting fucking in the ass because of the above them, let's just say, the people they spend a lot of money just to see if everything's gonna go, like investors. Yeah, that's the name I'm looking for. Investors. The investors are probably say, hey, do this because it's gonna give you a lot of money, and if you don't do, we're not gonna invest on your company and shit like that. And that kind of makes me worried, because when investors start to mess with stuff like this, when they start to command the studio to do what they want because they think more money and all that kind of shit, it gets really bad. Like it gets really bad. Because the studio gonna do something that they don't know, it's not their focus, it's not what they want to do, and that kind of fuck everything up. That fucks everything up. And again, I'm not gonna say it's confirmed that this will happen, or if they are doing this because they want, or because they are not to, or because they are being forced to, which is worse, because like you're doing something that it's not your area, it's not your focus, it's not what you're there to do, but you're doing it anyways because you need to, because of investors and stuff, and they're gonna fuck your project up. They're gonna fuck the money. You're gonna lose money and stuff, and maybe they're gonna fuck the next project, which is Star Wars Eclipse, and probably makes you just think everything worse. And I can't confirm all those things are happening again. But if that's the case, man, I'm really worried. And I'm worried that we're never gonna get something like Detroit Become Human ever again. Not everything is, bad or bad news or something like that. Because we had, like, recently, we have Dispatch. Like the game Dispatch, which is made by the old Telltale devs, which just get out of the company to try doing their own stuff, because, Telltale is kind of fucked right now, and as you can see, there is a reason why The Wolf Among Us 2 is not coming out, and we're gonna get to that. But it's not everything bad, because the Telltale devs, they came back to do Dispatch, and I fell in love with Dispatch, bro. Even if I have criticism of the game, like a lot of criticism, like one that I don't feel like compared to Detroit Become Human, I don't feel like this game, like the choices doesn't matter as much as Detroit Become Human, bro. And you're gonna see how much that's true when you just compare like when you start seeing videos, you start seeing the possibilities, like if I choose this, how much will this change? If I choose that, how much will this change? And as much as I enjoyed the game because of the story that they build and stuff like that, still the game doesn't feel much as a choice-based game. It feels like a series that I have like a little bit of control, and that I get to play like a little mini game before I see the actual end of the story, before I actually see how the story evolves itself. And as much as I have this criticism, like the game was successful as fuck, bro. It's so like, I think it already sold like 3 million units, which is crazy, because it was pretty damn fast. And you know, when the game is not successful, it doesn't get even to 1 million. But the fact that this patch hit like 3 million, and there was a lot of people talking about it, there was a lot of videos being made, a lot of incredible reactions with gameplays and stuff. I wish I could, you know, be playing this patch. Like, I didn't play this patch by myself, but I watch everybody play, bro, and I just couldn't wait, man, because this was one of those games that it was exploding so much that I was kind of getting spoilers and stuff like that, but you know, I had to watch it, bro. I had to see people watching, and I watch a lot of people, and even watching what happens like between the choices and stuff like that, because you know, I don't have money to play the game. I don't have like a PlayStation 5 or something, or even a PC that is good enough to run this kind of games. But then again, man, still the game made a lot of success. It sold like 3 million copies already, and that's really fucking good, because you know, a lot of those guys in the companies and stuff, investors, and you know, the people that have a bunch of money to make this kind of games happen, open world game, or like a Assassin's Creed 6 or 10 or 11, or a new Final Fantasy, or like a sequel and stuff, you know. So it kind of sucks. It really sucks that we live in like a modern video game industry that doesn't see the potential of these games, even though that we had incredible games like The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us and Detroit Become Human, which is so crazy. 10 million copies is so crazy. I don't know how much The Walking Dead sold, like all the series and stuff combined. But there is potential, man. Like if Detroit, which is one single game, can sell that how many copies, bro? What do you mean we don't have, like? What do you mean these games don't have like potential to make that much money, if not even more, back? And again, like Detroit Become Human, as much as this game looks expensive as a bitch, the game was like 30 million, like 37 million just to do it, just to make the game. And I think the 50 million more, which was combined with the, you know, the price that was made to make the game, and the 50 million more was like marketing and stuff. And like if you can spend like 50 million in just a choice-based game that, you know, a choice-based game that it can feel and it has a lot of passion, it has a lot of work putting into it, like Detroit Become Human, there is potential to make money with these games. And again, Detroit Become Human was like a completely new game. It was, again, of course, it was like made by Quantic Dream, which is the people, you know, known to make this kind of stories, known to make this kind of games. But still, man, like Detroit Become Human was like a brand new game, and that game made like 10 million copies, and all that because it was a choice-based game. And that game cost like 50 million with the marketing budget. And of course, there is a potential there to make money. There is, like, these games are special, bro. The story, like, and these games stay with you. I still see people to this day talk about Detroit Become Human. And by the way, the reason I'm doing this video is because I think recently Detroit Become Human was on sale, and it basically like sold 1 million instantly. Like Detroit Become Human just sold another 1 million, adding to 10 million plus, which is crazy. And that was like in a very short period of time because it was on sale. And I don't know if the sale was like intentional, because I heard somebody say that there was a problem and the sales kind of go down on Steam by a lot, and the game just sold 1 million, bro, which is crazy. Like 1 million kind of instantly, almost instantly. And don't come at me and say this game is bad, like this game, nobody care about this game. Bro, people care about these games. And shit, man. And I'm sorry about the audio from the outside and stuff like that, because I'm doing live right now. I'm doing this video live on a private live on YouTube, so I'm gonna have to edit this out. So if you guys hear something like some noises from the outside, I'm sorry about that. And I hope the audio is good, because I thought the audio setting that I put right now I think it's perfect for you guys to listen to my voice and all that. But I don't know if it's 100% perfect, so I'm sorry if anything happens. But anyway, and yeah, man. And with that in mind, I just, the reason why I'm making this video is that I just have I'm just a little afraid that we might not get more of these kind of games in the future. And that's even though that there is a new studio that is doing this, like Dispatch. Like Dispatch is a good example of a hope that I have that somebody else would continue to do choice-based games. And yeah, man, this is I really appreciate the people in the Dispatch team, which I forgot the name of the studio. Man, I'm really horrible with names. I'm really horrible in remembering people's names, but it is what it is. So yeah, man, like I'm really afraid that in the future we might not get more of those games and stuff, or we might not even actually get a game like Detroit Become Human no more. And one of the hopes after Detroit Become Human release, and that was like a few years ago, one day we would get another game like Detroit Become Human, where there's a bunch of choices, improved finals, improved storylines and stuff like that. And that was my hope when Detroit Become Human release, is that it gave me the hope that one day we'll get more games like this. Man, Detroit Human, like shit, man, that game has so many endings, that crazy stuff happening. You have this, you have this path that you can become a little Terminator, and you have this path of peace that you can make peace with the humans and stuff, and you can even sing, which is fucking crazy. I think the ending with Markus singing is the most, I think it's the most weakest, because it's just, bro, there is no way humanity is gonna stop the annihilation of androids, because the guy is sing a song with his life, with his wife robot and shit like that. Like there's no way we're gonna sacrifice the chance of humanity surviving because a android just started singing.
Hold on just a little while longer. Everything will be alright.
That's dumb, but it's still pretty funny. But yeah. And coming back to The Wolf Among Us, like at least The Wolf Among Us 2, like what is happening, bro? Like what is happening with The Wolf Among Us, bro? Like I know the Telltale Games is kind of fucked recently. Like they're trying to wake up to reality. They're trying to make things right. They try to make the game right, But man, there was so much. They spent, like, I don't even know if that game is gonna come out, and that is really sad because, again, The Wolf Among Us was one of those games that had the most potential of all. Like I think, like even The Walking Dead, bro. I think The Wolf Among Us, you could have, like with the fairy tales and stuff like that, and all the detective aspect, you could make this shit go on for 10 seasons or whatever, which just sucks, man. It just sucks. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is TJ, aka Thomas Johnson, and I mean, what is your opinion about the choice-based games today? Like, do you have any opinion about it? Like, do you love them? Do you hate them? Like, what is happening, bro? Like, what do you wish it would happen with the choice-based games genre that it would make, let's just say, it would make it better, it would improve it? Like, do you wish the games would learn from, I don't know, a Detroit Become Human, put more choice? I mean, of course, everybody asks for more choices because people want the choices to matter. And of course, what do we wish to see next? Like are you hoping for The Wolf Among Us to release at any time soon? Like, or you wish for Detroit Becoming Human? Because let me say something. Detroit Becoming Human was so good to me that I started reflecting until this day. I still reflecting about the game. And man, as much as it wouldn't make any fucking sense at all, I wish there was a sequel for Detroit Become Human, bro. I wish there was. I just wish there was, but because I don't know, I just wanna see something like this again from Quantic Dreams again. And even though they are making these new Star Wars games, like, I don't know, bro. I just wish to see a Detroit Become Human 2 one day. Like there were, because there is endings in that story that, like, you could continue, but it would just be, people would just call it crash grab, and stuff like that. But I don't know, I would just be really fucking hyped if that happens. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is TJK Thomas Johnson. You can just call me TJ, and I'm out.